In the beginning, there was choice. Raw, unfiltered, exhausting. Every decision demanded attention. Every path required effort. Every action carried consequence. And humanity discovered something uncomfortable. Freedom is heavy, so we invented something lighter. Default. We do not remember the first default setting. We only know this. Once it appeared, most people stopped choosing. Default is not dramatic. It does not arrive with announcements. It is already there, pre-selected, pre-approved, pre-decided, a quiet suggestion framed as convenience. This is recommended, and recommendation feels safe. Default does not argue. It does not persuade. It simply waits for you to do nothing. And doing nothing is remarkably easy. Look around you. The wallpaper on your device. The notification sound you stopped hearing. The privacy box you never unchecked. The auto-renew subscription you forgot existed. You call these minor details. But civilization is built on minor details. Default is the architecture of the unnoticed. It shapes behavior without confrontation. When given 10 options, most people choose the one that requires the least friction. Default understands friction. Default removes it. It offers relief from decision fatigue, and in a world saturated with choice, relief feels like mercy. Consider the power of a pre-checked box. It does not command you. It assumes you agree. And assumption is more efficient than persuasion. Entire policies have passed through default. Entire financial systems rely on default. Entire cultural norms are reinforced by default, not because they were debated, but because they were left unchanged. You believe you are customizing your life, but most of your environment was configured before you arrived. The font you read, the layout you scrolled, the algorithm you never adjusted. They were selected for you. Not maliciously, not aggressively, just quietly. Default does not need to dominate, it only needs to persist. Persistence becomes normal. Normal becomes invisible, and invisible becomes permanent. Ask yourself something simple. When was the last time you opened your settings? Not because something was broken, but because something was assumed. Default thrives in assumption. It survives on indifference. It is strengthened by urgency. When you are tired, you accept. When you are busy, you accept. When you are distracted, you accept. Default is not the enemy of freedom. It is the substitute for effort, and effort is expensive. The most powerful systems in the world do not force compliance. They design defaults, retirement plans, cookie permissions, autoplay, auto-renew, auto-correct, automatic. Automatic means you were not consulted, but you were included. There is a difference. Default creates patterns. Patterns create habits. Habits create identity. Over time, you begin to mistake familiarity for preference. You say, I like it this way, but you never chose it that way. You inherited it. Default is subtle. It does not collapse under pressure like a chair. It does something far more stable. It remains untouched, unquestioned, and that stability feels reassuring. Until you realize something unsettling. The majority of your daily interactions are shaped by decisions you did not actively make. Your ringtone, your news feed, your brightness level, your sleep schedule, your scrolling speed, all calibrated by someone else's idea of standard. Standard is a powerful word. It implies neutrality, but no default is neutral. It reflects priorities. It reflects incentives. It reflects someone's definition of optimal, and optimal for whom is rarely asked. Default does not eliminate choice. It frames it, and framing determines outcome. If one option is centered, highlighted, and labeled recommended, most people will comply, not because they are controlled, but because they are human. Default understands humanity. It understands fatigue. It understands urgency. It understands that when faced with complexity, we seek the path that requires the least resistance. Default is resistance-free, and resistance-free systems scale. Across millions, across nations, eventually, default becomes culture. You no longer notice it. You defend it. You assume it is the natural state of things. But nothing about it was natural. It was configured. In the end, default does not take away your freedom. It redefines it. Freedom becomes the ability to accept. Convenience becomes the absence of friction. And friction becomes something to avoid. But friction is where awareness lives. Without friction, there is no pause. Without pause, there is no examination. Without examination, there is no adjustment. Default depends on the absence of adjustment. And most of the time, we comply. Not because we agree, but because we did not disagree. You are still free. You can open the settings. You can scroll past the recommendation. You can uncheck the box. You can change the language. You can disable autoplay. But you probably won't, because default is comfortable, and comfort is persuasive. In the end, we did not surrender control. We simply never moved the slider.